What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Let's Do Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode number 2. And the episode is titled You've Got to Chill, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys, so I don't think that this video is going to be long at all. You know, I was watching last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and in the process of watching it, I just kind of came to the conclusion for myself that if this season doesn't get better, then I won't be back for the next season. Because it's just a lot of the redundant stuff. We're repeating stuff, the Melody and Martell stuff. I'm just over it. So we're going to thug it out for this season. But if it, like I said, if it comes back for season 7 and it's the same crap, JB is going to have to let Love and Marriage Huntsville go. The same way I feel about Love and Marriage DC. I think that the Love and Marriage franchise, for me, I'm almost done with both of them. So this episode, we picked up where we last left off, and we were talking it was with Mel and Stormy talking. So I do want to make something like crystal clear and loud for everybody to hear me. It's fine if you guys like Melody. It's fine if people see Melody's point of view, right? But at the same time, I'm trying to remember, like, why do people go so hard for Melody? Like, I know in the earlier seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville, we were Team Mel because of what Martell had done to her, right? But the thing that bothers me is that so many people want to get upset, want to come at you when you don't say something that they necessarily agree with. And that's really why I came to that decision last night, because the mellow meters make this show less than enjoyable. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So Stormy is telling Mel that she says, you know, I know that you would typically check out on people, but in a nutshell, Stormy was like, I didn't think you was gonna do it to me, right? So Stormy was talking about the fact that when they were at the reunion, that their rooms were, I don't know if their dressing rooms were by side each other or their hotel rooms, but either way it go, they were right beside each other, and Mel didn't speak to Stormy, right? So, you know, Mel was talking about, well, you just said that I kind of ceased communication. So basically, in a nutshell, we know it. These are not Mel's real friends. These are her work friends, and once work is done, she's done with them, right? And if that's how she feels, that's how she feels, right? So Stormy was like, but you know, for me, you and I, if we're talking and you just abruptly stop texting to me or responding to me, you could at least, and I even said this last week, I might have said it in the video or I just might have said it out loud, I don't know. If you are going through something, it's fine, right? You can verbalize that to your friends. Like, even if you can verbalize that, be like, hey girl, you know, it's a lot going on with me and Martell right now, so I just need a little bit of time to myself. So don't take anything personal. It's just me just taking a step back and, you know, collecting myself. But I do wonder, does Mel do that to her real friends? Because if these people aren't your real friends, I wonder, how does she treat her real friends? I just wonder, right? I really wonder. Because isn't Kiki supposed to be one of her good friends? I'm just asking a question. Let me know. So Stormy kind of feels away because on social media, people were saying that, you know, she was the one that had recorded the conversation with Melody. And then, remember last season when Destiny played that video for him? Now, here's the thing that I come up with. This cast pretty much goes live. Like, they go live. I know all of last season, everybody was going live after the show aired. So, what the hell? And especially Melody. Melody is the most notorious person for going live after the show goes off. Now, I haven't saw it this season. I mean, we're 2 episodes in, but I haven't saw her go live, you know, yet. I don't know if production may have intervened or not. I don't care. So we see Kiki. Kiki showed up to the party. I'm like, well, that's very interesting. And the thing with Kiki is interesting as well, right? Because if you guys go back to the season that Tisha had graduated from school, Kiki was at that graduation party and Kiki was coming at Kimmy. But then you go forward one more season, or one or two seasons, whichever one you want to say. You go forward a season or two, and then she is having an issue with her cousin. None of this stuff makes sense to me. But but Tisha and Kiki, they haven't really been able to get past whatever happened at the reunion. Now, once again, I do know that the reunion filmed, and then they filmed it, I believe, what they said, October. Then we got it in January or so. I know we got the reunion in January. So the reunion aired in January. And I know that they started filming not too long after this. So, yeah, Letitia's probably still she's still dealing with the fallout from the reunion with Kiki. And I'm not upset with her about that. Now, Kimmy, y'all know I love my girl Kimmy, right? I like Kimmy, and I can call Kimmy out when I think Kimmy is wrong. Now, I know what Kimmy was saying, but I just wish she had not used the analogy of Melody and Martell, because she was talking about this journey and her going through it. And, it's been nice having Maurice beside her, right? Nobody wants to go through any of this stuff and not have someone with them. Kind of like, with Melvin and Martell, I was like, oh, Kimmy, can we just let Martell and Melody be a thing of the past? Like, I'm so tired. Like, I'm tired of Melody and Martell. I'm tired of anything dealing with Melody and Martell for what? How many seasons was it? Was it 2 or 3 seasons where we had to deal with them bickering and arguing with each other? So we finally got past that to get them to a good space. Now we're in another space with them where Mel doesn't want to be surrounded by him. Honestly, I don't care, and I don't blame her, right? So Martell went up to Melody and said, he wanted to walk her out to her car. I'm like, well, now I didn't see anything wrong with that. It's just him being you can say he had ulterior motives. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't really see nothing wrong with it. I mean, she is the mother of his kids, and you just want to make sure she gets to her car safely. Now, again, could Martell have ulterior motives? 100%. We know Martell Holt. We know him. But that is what it is. Now, Mel did get a little in her pissed off because Tiffany and Lewis were laughing. I will say one nice thing about Tiffany. The pregnancy glow. It looks real nice on her. She looks beautiful. Tiffany looks beautiful. I never would have thought I said that because, y'all know how I talk about Tiffany and her Montgomery Ward's fashions, but she looks great. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, we got Martell. So Martell is crashing a date with Chris Fletcher and his wife, Nail. And I was like, huh? So Chris didn't tell his wife that Martell was crashing a date, and Martell said that Chris didn't initially tell him that was a date for him and Nail. I was like, well, damn. If I was Ms. Nail, I would be pissed. I'd be like, why didn't you invite him on our date? So they asked Martell how was the dating life for him. He says that he wants to be married again. You would love to be married to your ex-wife again, but that's neither here nor there, right? So they asked Martell how are things with he and she, by she ain't got it, right? So he says that they are just basically enjoying each other's company. I was like, oh, I wonder what she think and feel about this, right? That's going to be interesting. I am so interested. I'm really ready for Love. I was about to say Love and Marriage, Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm kind of excited for Real Housewives of Atlanta to see how Sheree plays this season out, right? I mean, I think we all know I think we all feel the same way, that this is just really a storyline for both Martell and for Sheree on their respective shows. So they ask him, how are the kids? He says that the kids are good. They then ask him, how's the communication with you and Mel? There is no communication between he and Mel, right? And he feels a way about that. I'm like, Martell, how do you feel a way that there's no communication between you and Melody when you're the one that's the reason for there being no communication between you and Melody? You're the one that took Mel to court. You took her to court for custody of these children. And, you know, I think Mel is a great mother. I don't think she would put her kids in harm's way. Now, what threw me was I feel like Martell has an issue with Marcus because Marcus is gay. I really feel like that's what it is. I think that's what it is because Martell wants to once again talk about that she had 20 babysitters. Then one of them was her brother. That's family. What's wrong with her brother watching his nieces and his nephew? Like, I would love to know the answer to that question. What's wrong with that? He's their uncle. What do you think? Like, what do you think he's gonna do? Gonna turn them gay? Like, what is? I don't understand what that. I don't understand what Martell's issue is with Marcus watching the kids. I have been trying to figure that out for so long, and it just gives me, it just gives me slight homophobia. Not saying he's homophobic, but it gives me that, or that he's deflecting from something. I don't know. It got nothing to do with me, but let me know what you guys think about that. And we're gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Letitia. So Letitia is down at Black, and she's meeting with her cousin. So we got to give a little bit of a congratulations to Letitia because Letitia told us that, you know, she got her brokerage license. I was like, uh-oh, Letitia. You know, Letitia is kind of how like I feel when it comes to Portia. I think that they are very smart women, but dumb things come out of their mouths at times, right? And I don't feel like Tisha's dumb. I think that Tisha's just it's her dialect. It's the dialect, right? Because if you guys watched the trailer, she said instead of her saying expo, she said espo. I was like, girl, it's not espo, it's expo. I was wondering if anybody caught that, but me, because I was like, when I heard that trailer, I'm like, did she say black something espo, or did she said espo? I was like, oh, okay. So Tisha's meeting with her cousin Courtney, right? So Tisha wants her cousin Courtney to join her brokerage. And her cousin was like, you know, she'll have to think about that. So then they talk about Kiki. Once again, you guys, I don't care that conversation that they had about Kiki. I just want to talk about Kiki in general. I can't imagine, me personally, and I have family members that I don't speak to on a day-to-day basis. And we don't necessarily see it for each other, right? But if you were to say, if me and my family were to do a reality show and either my cousins or my brother or anybody, right, that's biologically my family, if they're on the show and they have an issue with someone, I'm not gonna come on that show and then be like, oh yeah, da 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 and da 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 da. You know, I talk trash about them, right? Now, if you are family by marriage, I ain't got no allegiance to you. I ain't got no loyalty to you. Sorry to tell you that, because that's just how I feel. I have no allegiance or loyalty to people who are married into my family. Well, some of them. Let me scratch that off the record. Most of my family who married into, yes, I will be loyal to my family. The ones who are married into my family that I don't necessarily see it for, I'm not gonna link up with somebody that considers them an enemy and an op. I'm not gonna link up with that person and then talk negatively about them, right? That's not what I'm gonna do. I'm like, you don't fuck with them, I don't fuck with them, we ain't gotta talk about them. That's just how it will rock, right? So I just still have a proverbial side eye for Kiki and the way she came on last season, because I do feel that Kiki last season was used as a pawn and as a puppet for Mel. Now I know people will say, well, Mel did interviews about this. Here's the thing when it comes to Melody and her interviews, right? Melody says one thing on the show, but then on social media, she says something completely different. And that's, I think, I get a lot of that, on Twitter or in my comments. I get a lot of that of, oh, you gotta watch Mel. She was on Carlos King. Oh, let me address that one real quick, you guys. So somebody, and I know it's one of my subscribers, I think I said it last week too. Maybe not. Here's the thing about Carlos King and Melody, right? I don't have an issue with either one of them. The only thing that I can't, especially if they're gonna be on a video together, The only thing I cannot tolerate is both of them having high-pitched ass voices. I can't listen to that. Oh, that it sounds like two gerbils on helium. So no, if you guys want to if when it comes to Carlos King, I will say this to you guys: feel free, I don't care. You guys can always, if you guys watch his interviews before you come to me, and you guys feel like it's something that was said that I should know, you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram, or you can leave it in the comment section. And you guys know I respond to everything. So yeah, excuse me, y'all. If y'all feel like if there's something in there that is a context, let me know. Will I address it on the video? 9 times out of 10, no. Because I only talk about what's on the show. Anything that they say happened behind the scenes or that wasn't shown, that was left on the editing floor, I don't really honestly care. But if you guys feel like I should know it, 100%, let me know. So we see Kiki and Tisha doing kickboxing, right? Because the cousins suggested that they have some kind of an outing with each other, right? So they finally sat down and talked. Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for just a second here, right? Because I understand where Kiki's coming from, but I'm also understand where Tisha's coming from. Because yes, I know Kiki felt the way about Marceau and Letitia telling Melody and Martell that she was, she had a drug problem, right? I know she felt the way about it, and I'm not diminishing that. Here's what I do have an issue with. If you and Letitia had talked this out years ago and you guys have moved past it, why did you dredge it back up? Is the question that I really just want to know. Why did you dredge it back up? Because obviously you two had moved on from it when you were at her graduation party defending her against Kimmy. So obviously at some point you had, you had sat down with Letitia and told Letitia. Now, once again, I go back to what I said last season, right? Last season, do I think that Letitia and Marceau were wrong for telling that she had a drug problem? Yes, I do, right? It's like a catch-22. It's a catch-22, to be quite honest with you. It's like she's coming to these people's home. These people don't know that she just got out of rehab. So do you tell them, like, you invited my cousin over here. I kind of want to give you a heads up that she just got out of rehab for prescription drugs. So if you have anything in your medicine cabinet, you might want to go in there and move it, right? But the thing is, it wasn't her place. But then you also have to think in the back of your mind, like, let's just say for the sake of saying that Letitia them and Marceau did not tell Melody and Martell that, right? And then let's say Kiki, and this is just hypothetical, let's just say Kiki went to the bathroom and found their medicine cabinet and opened it. I said, oh, you got this in here, you got that, a little bit of this. Oh shit, bitch, we finna pour this in my purse. Purse. Pour enough so that they don't know it, right? Because drug addicts will do anything to get what they want, recovering or not, right? So I wasn't upset about that, because then if that situation that I just, went over happened, and the Holtz went to their bathroom and they looking like, wait a minute, this was a full bottle. Now it's down here. Like, wait a minute, who came? Like, we had so many people in this house. So then you got to go through a process of elimination and be like, well, who did this, right? And so you will ask everybody, and then you come back to Letitia and Marceau, and they be like, oh, Mel, we forgot to tell you that Kiki had just got out of rehab. And she'd be like, so y'all let me invite this woman into my house knowing that she had a drug issue, and she went into my bathroom and stole some of my prescriptions? Like, so think of it that way, right, guys? Now, what Kiki did on the flip side was just fucked up, right? Because you alluded that something happened in Letitia and Marceau's marriage. I didn't agree with that. I still don't agree with it today. It was tit for tat, but then it was kind of like playing into the rumors of what's already out there. Although Tisha did say that she found some pictures in his phone, I still ain't forgot that, but that's neither here nor there. We'll see where Tisha and Kiki end up. let's pause here and wrap up this episode. All right, you guys. So we end the episode with Melody. So Melody is meeting up with Ms. Nell, right? So the next thing that I want people to stop doing is asking Mel about her dating life. Oh my God, if y'all don't stop asking that woman about her dating life, what is it of your concern? So Mel says that, it's cool. She ain't exclusive with nobody. And I'm thinking to myself, why do we care? Because this really seems like y'all are asking this question so y'all can run back and tell Martell what she's doing and what she's not doing. When we know what he's doing. It's all over social media. So I will say I do feel like Ms. Nell overstepped in this conversation with Melody when she started talking about the children and the 20 babysitters. I really do believe she overstepped her. I think she overstepped. Because she gave unsolicited advice that Mel didn't ask for. Mel is a lot better than I would have been, because I would have told Ms. Nell, I know you don't mean any harm, any disrespect, but those are my kids with Martell. I will parent my kids the way that I see fit to parent my kids with Martell, right? Yes, you can tell me, you can say maybe we can get 3 babysitters. I appreciate that. But I got to do what's right for me and for my children, not what you think is right, right? So then Ms. Nell was like, well, y'all gonna be in each other's eyes forever. That part, unfortunately, is true. Even when those kids are grown, they gonna still come around mama and daddy. But it was a whole bunch of nothing, to be quite honest with you. So, Mel also talked about the fact that, Martell goes around bashing Melody, but he doesn't tell these same people that he goes around talking negatively about her, that he wants her to get back with him. I'm like, girl, I think even a blind man can see that. Stevie Wonder can see that. Ray Charles can see that. Helen Keller can see and hear that. So I think we all know that Martell wants you back. But that's all I got, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of it episode in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.